products like Oculus Go. Hopefully you all have had a chance to try it since yesterday. We're continuing to push the state-of-the-art in the standalone category as well. We've talked before about Project Santa Cruz, which takes this to another level with fully tracked hands and head in a standalone system. Now, this prototype system is now in the hands of early third-party developers, so we'll have some exciting updates to share with you later this year. But today, what I wanted to do was talk a little bit about the future and where this is all going. Where our goal is to make it possible for you to be in VR and feel like you are with someone thousands of miles away. In order to solve this problem, there are so many difficult technical challenges in VR. We need to be able to display the world as if it's real. We need to be able to capture the motions of a person. We need to then package it up and send it across the world and re-render it on the other side as if it's a real person there, again, so you're indistinguishable from reality. So we're going to focus on a couple of key problems here that we need to solve to make this done. Let's start with optics and displays. If you look at state-of-the-art VR systems on the market today, which is the top line, and you look at what your human eye is capable of perceiving, that's the second line, you can see we're quite a ways away from something that will feel like reality to you. Now, the good news is pixel density mostly will get solved as panels get more dense over time from manufacturers. But the two other problems, field of view, which is how wide can I see, and depth of focus, can I look at multiple depths, requires new technology. Luckily, our teams at Oculus Research have been spending years working on this problem and have built many different prototypes that address both of these challenges of field of view and depth of focus. And luckily, we're going to have Maria from Oculus Core Tech up here just later in this very keynote to go into a lot more detail on some of the work here. But just come with me on a journey for a second and imagine I said to you, I have this amazing headset and it's able to reproduce the world that's so real it's hard to tell the difference. In order to achieve our vision, there's much more that needs to happen. We also need to capture the real world, because if I wanted you to feel like you were at F8 again, I need to capture the stage and the concepts and everyone in it so I can re-render it in virtual reality. Our teams in research have been doing state-of-the-art work on this as well. This is a 3D rendering of a real captured room. I've been in this room, and you can tell because of the depth maps here. And as you see it playing, you realize how hard it is to tell the difference between this and a video or being in the real room. And what's particularly impressive about this work is if you look right here, we're able to get the reflections in the mirrors. So when you see work like this and realize we'll be able to capture and re-render the real world to this level of fidelity, you realize it's going to be a game changer. Okay, so I got two things. So imagine I'm on a journey with me, got this headset, I can re-render the real world so it looks awesome. We're still missing two really hard parts. Got to capture me in VR. You got to get the animations of how I'm moving, how I'm expressing up here so you can replay it across the globe. One of the hardest parts of this is hands. There's such a huge part about how we express emotions and concepts to each other, yet they're surprisingly difficult to capture. If you can imagine the overlap of your fingers, the fast and fine motions, very easy to make mistakes. What you can see here is, again, state-of-the-art work on building systems that are a reference level for how we could do hand capture in VR. And we're working on projects like this to get all of your body digitized into VR in a robust, fast way. Okay, so I've got this amazing headset, I've recaptured the real world, and I've come up with all of this technology which allows me to take all of the motions I'm making and bring them into VR. We're missing one key thing. I need to take all that information, I need to send it across the globe, and re-render me as a realistic person. Now, my first experience in remote social presence was this little thing called Toybox. Many of you might have tried this in VR, and it's just a blue faceless head and blue disembodied hands. But because they move, animated by a real person, and it's the real person talking to you, it's surprising how much this gives you a sense of presence. And for those of you who were here 2 years ago, I introduced the world to selfies in VR in our first early demo of a thing called Facebook Spaces, and we had a slightly better blue avatar at the time. Since then, we've shipped Facebook Spaces and made significant progress, version over version, in enhancing the realism of the avatar. And this, again, is where AI is a game changer, because we're now at the ability to take a single photo and create a very photorealistic avatar from, or near photorealistic avatar from that single photo. AI has also been critical to help us in products today have these systems move in a more realistic manner. One of the challenges is, as I'm talking, making sure the mouth moves in a way that looks realistic, that matches my speech. And again, we need to do this not just in English, but in all the languages people might use in VR. Once again, PyTorch to the rescue, and a new state-of-the-art lip sync system built on top of AI. Let's see it in action. So what you're going to see is the person speaking and then their avatar moving as they speak.
This model was trained on PyTorch, translated via Onyx, deployed on Cafe 2 into spaces to be run with this next-generation avatar.
Este modelo
को PyTorch से train किया गया है.
durch Onyx übersetzt.
Cafe 2我自己的
et lançado spaces
pour créer cet avatar
個新一代嘅虛擬頭像。
So this is a pretty big leap from a faceless blue head. We've made a lot of progress in the last few years, but we're still not and this is a product you can use today, but we're still not at indistinguishable from reality. So our teams have been working hard trying to take a photorealistic avatar and animate it in real time from VR. You can see an example here of two of my colleagues working on this problem, communicating with each other in VR, and this is what they would look like when they see each other in VR. Okay, so when you start putting these pieces together and say we're working on problems on the displays, we can capture and re-render the real world, we can capture the human body and real fidelity and bring it into VR, and then, oh, by the way, we can render it into an avatar that looks pretty darn close to real, you get why I'm so excited about our vision of being able to connect across distances, and why we think we can solve this problem in a way that no one has seen before. And this is why we are so fired up about VR to this day, because we think it will be the only way we will get people to connect over very large distances. That's a preview of some of the areas we're focused on here in AI, and connectivity, and AR and VR. We have 3 more exciting keynotes for you to deep dive in 2 areas of AI and to do an even deeper dive in some of the technologies I gave you a sort of sneak peek on in VR. So stick with us. Coming up next, I'm proud to introduce Srinivas, who's going to do a deep dive on how we use AI at scale. Thank you, everyone. Have a great F8.
Hey everyone, good morning. Who wants to see a fun old family photo? That's me standing in the back, looking funny. I grew up in India in a close family. When I moved to the US in the 90s as a grad student, a phone call to my family cost 70 cents a minute. And they spent a lot of my student income on it. Facebook profoundly changed that, and it's helped me and billions of other people stay much more closely connected to friends and family all over the world. At this scale, AI is one of the best tools we have to help people connect with what matters most to them, to remove harmful content from our community, and to help people in need. Today, I'm going to share some of our recent innovations in AI and how we are applying it at scale. One of the core technologies we're working on is image recognition. By understanding what's in an image, our systems can help connect me with the things that matter most to me. For example, I'm always looking for great South Indian restaurants. So if my friends are posting pictures of dosas, I definitely want to know about it. Computer vision can help with that. We have now created the world's best image recognition system. It achieves the highest score ever of 85.4% top 1 accuracy on ImageNet, a data set widely used for benchmarking. Most recent advancements reduced classification errors by just 1 to 2%, but our system accomplished a 13.6% improvement. That's a big jump. These results are awesome, but what's also incredibly cool is the way we did it. Conventional systems use images that are carefully labeled by human annotators, but that approach doesn't really scale well. So we created a new breakthrough technique that takes lots of easily available but noisy and imprecise labels, in this case hashtags, and made it useful for training. This enabled us to train at an unprecedented scale, 3.5 billion public images with hashtags. If you looked at one photo every second, it would take you 100 years to look at all these photos. And to train on all these photos on a single machine would take a whole year. What's more, our models have so many parameters that it's too large to fit into the GPU memory of a single machine during training. To solve these problems, we created a highly scalable and robust infrastructure that enables very large models and distributes training across hundreds of GPUs to cut the training time to just a few weeks. The end result is a state-of-the-art system that can identify things at a much more accurate and detailed level than ever before. With over 20,000 categories across many verticals like flowers, birds, hot dogs, no hot dogs, etc. And it can really recognize very fine-grained species in flowers and birds like strelitzias and eastern meadowlarks and things, which is really cool. More seriously, we will be able to use this to provide visually impaired people with richer descriptions of photos. We'll be able to filter out harmful images, and we'll be able to help you see the things that you really care about. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video may be an entire library. I love tennis, and this is a video of my nephew playing. The interesting parts here are the actions, that is the movement of the ball and the players. And to understand that, our systems need to understand not just the pixels in the image frame, but also the movements across time. And that's a much more challenging problem. So we first did this a few years ago with our deep learning-based model for videos called C3D. It's a widely used open source project, and it helps understand actions across time, but it's also computationally very intensive. Earlier this year, we created a new model, Res2+1D, that uses a very novel space-time factorization technique to process the huge amounts of data much more efficiently, while also achieving state-of-the-art accuracy at that time. It can tell the difference between a golf player chipping and putting, which I still can't. This is awesome. But to deploy this at scale, our models need to be even more efficient. Today, we're introducing our new model that pushes the state-of-the-art even further, ResNext 3D. It's even more accurate, but more impressively, it's 3 times smaller and 3 times faster. This makes it practical to deploy at scale to all videos on Facebook, and will help people find their meaningful video moments much more easily. We've also made important advancements in language understanding. More than 50% of people on Facebook don't speak English, and many others don't speak each other's language. I grew up in India, a country where people speak lots of languages, and I've seen firsthand how language differences can be a barrier to communication and even cause for conflict. To lower these barriers and to bring people closer together, we built Facebook Translations. Last year, we transitioned to a fully neural network-based machine translation system. The neural system produces much more accurate and natural translations than the previous statistical phrase-based translation system. And it's now delivering nearly 6 billion translations every day. Personally, I'm excited that my mom, who lives in Chennai, can benefit from this and interact with content I share in Tamil, her language of choice. And she can be really happy that I'm eating good homemade dosas. Let's take another example of language understanding. This is M-suggestions. Here, our systems understand the intent of the user to offer real-time suggestions. To do this across languages, conventional techniques would require lots of training data for each intent and every language, which is not very efficient. So we used a new technique called multilingual embeddings. Here, we position words with similar meaning, regardless of language, close together in vector space. For example, the words football in Spanish and soccer in English are close together because they mean the same thing. This multilingual representation enables us to train classifiers across multiple languages at the same time. And it's how we quickly brought M suggestions to Portuguese, French, and other languages. There are more than 100 languages that are used at Facebook today, and our AI systems are helping create meaningful experiences for people regardless of their preferred language. Now, I talked about computer vision and natural language. A really exciting area is to actually bring these together along with speech, and it's called multimodal understanding. Let's look at this 5-second video. The pixels tell you you have people playing tennis. The audio tells you it's a funny moment in the game. And the text tells you the names of the players, including Roger Federer and Bill Gates, two of my personal heroes. Imagine a system that can use this combined understanding and is able to reason on world knowledge to infer that these are huge celebrities and can automatically process billions of videos and to answer questions automatically like, show me the funniest moments with tennis and tech celebrities. From innovative language understanding and translations to state-of-the-art computer vision, we've made exciting progress in AI. These are deployed across products at Facebook at a massive scale, and our AI infrastructure is running more than 200 trillion predictions every day. As Shrep mentioned, we're open sourcing our AI tech to the developer community, and now you can build upon these advancements that I just talked about. Now, I want to share a few examples of how we are using AI to protect and help our community. We use image, video, language, and speech understanding to proactively identify and remove clickbait, engagement bait, pornography, violence, and other inappropriate content from among the millions of posts every day. Some content is still more difficult for AI to understand. For example, it's helping detect hate speech, but humans need to review it to understand the intent, the subtleties of language, and context. To understand why context is so important and challenging for machines, consider how much the meaning of text and images can change when combined or placed in a different context. We've had success applying AI to help with these issues, but there are still challenges ahead, and we are continuing to work on these hard problems. Beyond dealing with objectionable content, our AI systems are also enabling us to help people in need. And these are some of my favorite examples. Nikki Brian lives in Chicago, and she went to Puerto Rico to help with Hurricane Maria relief. She posted in a group asking where supplies were needed most urgently. And our language understanding tools extracted the places from the comments and built her a map that she used as a guide on the ground to deliver aid. Similar technology supports charitable giving and blood donations, which we launched last October, and it's helped millions of people already. AI also enables us to proactively help people who are expressing thoughts of self-harm or suicide. The tools can spot signs that a person may need help and can review and escalate to first responders quickly. We launched this in November, and as of March, we have worked with first responders on more than 1,000 wellness checks. I think this is really powerful work. Thank you. At Facebook, we're using AI to deliver things that wouldn't be possible otherwise, connecting people to what matters most, removing inappropriate content, and even helping to save lives. This will be one of the most transformative technologies ever, and I'm incredibly excited for the future as we continue to innovate in AI and apply it at scale. And now, to talk about how we are doing this responsibly, here's Facebook research scientist Isabel Klauman.
The scale you've heard about today is big. So we at Facebook have a unique responsibility and opportunity to engage in the societal issues of our times, like AI ethics, trust, and fairness. Today, I'm excited to share with you how we're approaching these issues. But first, I want to share a personal story. So let's jump in, because in case you can't tell, I'm about 7 months pregnant, and I feel like I could have this child any minute. I can't wait to meet my baby. It's my first. I thought I wanted a baby girl, I admit. I'm a woman raised by a single mom with 5 aunts, so I figured I'd know what to do with a girl. But when we found out we were having a boy, I was actually relieved. Now I can just tell my son to be like my wonderful husband, Jonathan, and call it a day. The responsibility's off me, right? Not quite. Having a kid is a wonderful and life-changing opportunity, but it's a ton of responsibility. You have to teach kids everything while instilling in them a strong set of values. So, similar to how we teach our children, we also teach AI systems how to learn. We pass along our values. AI is the next generation of technology, so we have to decide, how should this AI treat people fairly? How can it support people in sensitive contexts without compromising their privacy? These are ethical questions. And as the teachers of AI, we have a responsibility to grapple with them. Because AI is not just helping us build community at Facebook, AI is remaking industries across the globe. More than a science, economists call it a general-purpose technology that transforms every field it enters: healthcare, farming, transportation, education. And AI's effects are not just pervasive, they're personal. AI informs decisions that have an immediate impact on us, whether or not we get a loan, our sentence in the justice system, or if a business decides to interview or hire us. AI is already having an immediate impact on our daily lives. So we need to ensure that it treats people well, that it protects them, and that it works for them. But this won't happen automatically. So let me share how we're approaching AI ethics at Facebook. But ethics is an extremely broad topic. So today I'm going to deep dive into one of its particularly important and challenging aspects, which is how to build fair and unbiased AI systems. We're taking a holistic view, investing in the people who are the builders of AI, the data that we use to teach it, and the algorithms, which represent what it has ultimately learned. It begins with the people, the builders and teachers of AI. So we believe it's important who these people are. If AI only learns from a small group of technologists, it will only see a narrow point of view. So it takes a village to raise a child, right? So we need a diverse set of voices at the table. But no table of people and no set of voices will be perfect. For example, we have to account for the fact that we all have unconscious biases we can't entirely eliminate. Like, what do you notice about me? Probably that I'm a woman, maybe that I'm pregnant, that I'm white, or something about my tone of voice. Whatever your associations, they're probably different from the person sitting to your left or your right, and they're not that informative. Right? Would you have guessed that I'm part Venezuelan and part Norwegian, or that I used to be an astrophysicist? But since people design, develop, and generate the data that we use to teach AI, we need to understand and mitigate our biases so we don't pass them on, so our AI can do better at this stuff than we have. So to help do this at Facebook, we have research, product, and other review processes that provide independent checkpoints on the work people are doing. These involve external feedback to help grow the table and ensure that a multitude of perspectives shapes our direction. But process checks alone are not enough. We need to ensure that our actions and their consequences are aligned with an ethical framework. Whether we're building better translation services, helping people protect their identities, or create avatars in social VR, each project impacts how people connect, communicate, and express themselves. So we know the stakes, and we ask technologists and social scientists to work together, to think critically about how and why we're changing the world, to ask and act on the question, is this how we have the most positive possible impact for people? A core part of that question comes down to the data we use to teach our AI. So let me show you what I mean with a product that's super fun we have in production now. Automatic avatar generation for social VR. So this is my avatar, and I think she's pretty cute. I identify with her. But we're not just building an avatar for me. We're building an avatar for all these folks, and for all of you, and for everyone, right? So how do we do that? Well, we need art that can represent people's diverse faces, including beards and mustaches, things that we never would have needed to think about if we were just building avatars for me. And second, we need AI that can automatically select the right art for each of you. To do that, we need to have trained our AI on a huge diversity of faces. And since that training process uses photos that people have labeled manually by hand according to hair type, skin tone, aesthetic appeal, and other physical attributes, we need to ensure that those labels that people applied are both accurate and unbiased. Hand-labeled data sets like this power AI systems across Facebook, beyond avatar generation, from products like newsfeed ranking to our integrity and protection efforts. So the team that manages all of these labeling projects has an important responsibility. They've developed bias mitigation guidelines, which illuminate areas where bias can creep into the labeling process. This ensures that we scale robust and unbiased labels to all of our products. But no matter how much energy you spend trying to ensure that your labels and your data are good, you need to ask, what has your AI learned from that data? And ensure that it's not inadvertently learning some bias that was missed in your data collection phase. So how do you do that? How do you test the bias or fairness of an algorithm? Let's explore this question through what we did with our jobs tool. How this product helps job seekers on Facebook around the world search for and apply to openings at local businesses. We wanted to ensure that our jobs recommendation algorithms weren't inadvertently biased in favor of some demographic groups over others, providing disparate economic empowerment to only a limited group of people. So we worked with leading researchers from the algorithmic fairness community to develop a new internal tool called a fairness flow. We started building this last summer, and it's designed to measure an algorithm for biases across a growing number of parameters. We used this fairness flow to ensure that our jobs recommendation algorithms were providing value equally to both women and men, and to people who are over 40 and people who are under 40. The fairness flow starts with the data and asks, how diverse were the people for whom these algorithms were optimized? But just as important is what an algorithm does with that data, right? So the fairness flow checks How robust are these algorithms in providing high-quality recommendations to people from each of these subgroups? But diverse data and robust model performance are just two metrics. There are a wide variety of other concrete metrics we have in the fairness flow that can measure an algorithm for potential biases. But we're not the only ones working on this. These bias metrics have largely been identified by the external AI ethics and fairness research communities. Sometimes these metrics can even be at odds with each other, so we think it's important to look at the question from as many angles as possible to ensure there aren't some hidden negative outcomes that we're missing. Now, this is an analysis we did on production data using a tool we built, which is really exciting, but there's a lot more work to do. Still, I'm happy to share that these algorithmic checks and balances will become a part of the ongoing product evaluation for our jobs recommendation algorithms. Local businesses create more than 60% of new jobs, so it's really important to us that these recommendation algorithms are providing value to everyone. Now, we're working to scale the fairness flow to evaluate the personal and societal implications of every product that we build. As a step in that direction, we've integrated the fairness flow into our internal machine learning platform, FB Learner Flow. This is exciting because it means that any engineer at the company can plug into this technology and evaluate their algorithms for bias. Most importantly, it means they don't need to reinvent the wheel. They can directly draw on best practices from the external community as well as our internal work. This is still an active area for research, and so these methods will continue to improve and adapt as the applications of AI and the types of protections that we need for AI evolves. This conversation is necessarily something that involves a diverse set of perspectives. Even a first step, like building the fairness flow, requires collaborating with external experts. Technologists can't provide all the answers here because many of our most important questions sit at the intersection of many disciplines and communities. Beyond mathematics and computer science, these are social science, ethics, law, and policy questions. So we can't and we won't work on this in a vacuum, not at Facebook and not anywhere. AI is a powerful and transformative technology. Harnessing that power of AI for social good requires us all to work together on guaranteeing its responsible use. AI isn't exactly our child, but it is our responsibility, and that belongs to all of us. So let's all work together to teach it. Okay. And here to tell you about the latest in VR from Cortec at Oculus is Maria Fernandez Guajardo.
Good morning. Sometimes people ask me, what do you actually do as a product manager in Cortec? As you will see in a moment, there is a great deal of innovation happening in VR at the foundational level. Our job is to translate the technology that our researchers and engineers are developing into core building blocks that our products will use and our users, hopefully, will love. For me, there's nowhere more exciting to be doing this work than in VR. Here at Oculus, we have a bold vision about what VR can be. A platform that will give people sharing a virtual space the sense of being with each other, no matter where they are in the world. There is a lot to do. Srep highlighted some of the building blocks we are working on, and I'm going to give you more details in this: hand tracking, visual immersion, and 3D reconstruction. Let's start with hands. Hands are vital in VR. They are the first thing you look at when you put on a headset. They are complex, they are expressive. And as you can see in the video, they are essential to communication, experience, and the sense of being there. But in VR, hands are difficult to get right. We see 3 levels of complexity. The first one is hand presence. You see your hands there, and you realize that you are about to live an experience in the first person. Second, you need to use them for simple interactions, like you would do in any interface, like a phone or a tablet. You touch, you tap, you scroll. Third, you need to use them for complex actions, like playing a music box. This requires precision and dexterity, and it usually involves 2 hands or a hand and an object interaction. We are set out to create technology for those complex interactions, because that's how you expect the world to work here and in VR. To do this, we are investing in new technology to train our models. It is based on AI and tracks hands real time in high fidelity. How does it work? We use a motion capture system, and we collect and label 3D marker positions from hands. The aim is to turn these marker positions into labeled hand poses that we will use to train our models. But labeling the markers is particularly hard for complex interactions. We have reformulated the 3D marker labeling challenge into a key point regression problem in 2D images. That way, we can solve it with a convolutional neural network. We call this deep marker labeling. Leveraging techniques from machine learning, our method is robust to occlusions and distractors. It's far more accurate than any method before for tracking a single hand, 2 hands, and hand-object interactions. Let's talk now about visual immersion. To be compelling, your VR experience needs to be comfortable and have convincing visuals. Otherwise, you will never completely be immersed and believe it. We have been working on some of the visual limitations in VR, like improving visual comfort, your ability to interact with close objects, and increasing the field of view. First, we have to work in how your eyes focus in VR. Traditional headsets have a screen with a fixed focal plane. When you look at an object that is in the mid-range distance, your eye's focus works well because it matches the focal plane of the screen in the headset. But if you try to look at something that is not in that focal plane, like an object that is close to you, things become blurry. To work around this problem, the VR industry has been placing objects at a distance of about 2 meters. But this is limiting and it's not realistic. Great VR has to work with objects that are close to you too. If you are given a note, you should be able to read it. Second, we have to increase the field of view. Currently, the field of view of the headsets are about 100 degrees. But humans naturally see a much bigger field of view, about 210, 220 degrees. We gather a lot of information from our mid and far peripheral view, especially important in social interactions where you want to read the body language of people around you, like if you are giving a speech and people are bored. You with me? We have to improve in these areas. And we are. This is a fully functional prototype that we have developed to advance some of these technologies. Internally, we call it Half Dome. What you're seeing here is the integration of varifocal technology. Think about it like the moving lenses in the autofocus function in cameras. To provide the same level of focus, we in VR move the screens depending on what you're looking at. This solution gives you visual comfort, clarity, and as you can see, up-close sharpness. We have also optimized the mechanical design. Despite having the screens moving inside of the headset, you don't notice noise or vibrations. And for a compelling visual experience, it has a 140 degrees field of view. You can see the difference. The added bonus, our continued innovation in lenses has allowed us to pack all this new technology and still keep the Rift form factor and weight. Pretty exciting, huh? Let's talk now about 3D reconstruction. VR can be magical. It can take you to space or to the deepest oceans. It can take you to front row at Fashion Week or to a pit in Formula One race, if that's really where you want to be. But for many of us, the most evocative, meaningful places are often more personal. Your home, your parents' home, your preferred vacation spot. You may want to bring those familiar places into VR yourself, capturing the world, reconstructing it in 3D, and sharing it with others. We are working in improving 3D reconstruction in two ways. First, by making it more accessible, so it's not only the result of expensive equipment or professional artistry. And second, by increasing the fidelity of what we capture and render. We saw yesterday a way to bring your environment into VR with a point cloud reconstruction. This demo was built using traditional computational photogrammetry. It can be captured using pictures or videos from any camera. And now, thanks to our research engineers, we have created another way to do this. We take a burst of images, a regular panorama from any phone with a dual camera. From those, we take image pairs, one from each camera with the depth information. Our algorithm calculates the consistent depth and stitches them together. It generates a new panorama in 3D. We collect them. Pretty cool. We collect them at a rate of 1 image per second, and we process them really fast in even less time than it took to capture. The result is geometry that is highly detailed, a 3D panorama offering a more immersive experience that you can enjoy in VR. On the other side of the research, we continue to push the limits of the reconstruction fidelity with high-end systems. What you're going to see now is not possible with a phone, but I want you to check out the next video. It is a house tour, and it's a side-by-side comparison of an original video with the 3D reconstructed of that home. Can you tell which one is real? It's not that easy, huh? Okay, the real one is on the left. And the reconstructed is on the right. And the clue was the bottom left, where you could have seen the shoe of the person recording the original video. That's Julianne, by the way. This is cool enough already, but let me tell you from a technical perspective what is really, really cool about this. Take another look at the mirrors. We scan and reconstruct. Traditional systems produce reconstruction mistakes because they don't understand how reflection works. They believe that the images in the mirror are indeed behind, creating all sorts of weird scans. Our sensing systems uses a special target, which can be seen in the mirror and localized. As the system rig moves around the scene, the target motion let us estimate the shape and the location of the mirrors, so we can properly recreate the reflection. This may sound like a minor detail, but it is getting these countless details right that will make VR believable. We are getting there. Coupled with the work, with the developments on avatars that Rep mentioned, Our advances are helping to bring the future into the present. We are proud.
Oh, what happened? No, what happened? I don't know what happened, guys. It ended. Oh, man. So that ended, y'all. That ended. I don't know why, but it's okay. I don't know if my live stream ended, but I want to show you some cool stuff in here. So you heard a lot about it. If you want to go catch it on their thing, you can. So this right here is the new Quill update that they did. We're going to go through it because this is going to be my first time seeing it, so you guys can see my initial reaction, which you should know by now how I react to new things. So let's see what goes on with this one right here. All right, so this is the first time I'm seeing all this. So we're about to be dazzled real quick. Oh my God. What? Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Let me adjust what's going on. Oh my God. What? No. This is freaking what? Oh my God, y'all. Look. Oh, wow. I thought it played just, oh my. This is crazy. This is insane. Here, let's check out some more, okay? I think some of them can play and some of them won't. Why did they end the video? I hope they didn't end it. What did you expect? You knew I was going to go live with it. All right, so now, let's see what else is here. So we're going to go to gallery. I can't see my gallery. I have to stick my head in here. Here's a, oh my gosh. Ooh, I like it. Okay, so I have my selfie stick here. It moves. Oh, wow. But there's no sound to it. I don't hear any sound. Oh my God. Oh my God. What? Oh my God. Look. Dude, that's fabulous. It's absolutely freaking brilliant. Look, watch this. Here, I can't go. Can I go ghost? Here, let me. I'm getting kind of overwhelmed right now, so hold on, give me a minute, because I'm about to freak out. Because look at that. What? Oh man, this is crazy. All right, so let's do some more. Let's go do some more. I'm shaking right now. Like, y'all see the camera? Like, I'm like, so this is my first time experiencing this, and like right now I'm shaking. So hold on. So just give me, and what's going on with this is a bug, obviously. That's obviously a bug. Like, I'm just a blob of hair whenever I go ghost. So let's check out some more. Let's check out some more real quick. Let's see. Let's go here and let's go to gallery. So the new Quill feature is added in your gallery. Go to gallery and they've added that there. And so let's see what else. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to go through all of them. Okay. So they have like maybe three full pages of them. So there's nine Quill illustrations per each one. And okay, so let's go ahead and play this one. This is one that plays. Oh my goodness. Like, did y'all see how bad I was shaking just then? Like the camera, I was shaking the camera. This is crazy. This is insane, dude. All right, so this one's not loading too fast. So hopefully, oh, there we go. Oh my gosh. What? Okay, so I experienced this at OC4, but it was nothing like this, dude. Nothing at all. Oh my God, I'm shaking right now. Oh my God. Oh my God! Oh, so beautiful! Oh man, it is so beautiful, dude. Oh, do I press play or something? I don't know what to do. Does it play? I don't know. Oh, I'm shaking right now. Or does it play automatically? What do I do? Oh my God, I'm shaking, y'all. This is like incredible. Oh man, this is like really, really cool. Okay, let's see. Let's see if another one plays. Let me see. So that one's not doing, okay. Oh man, I'm shaking like really bad right now. This is, oh my God. It's so beautiful. I want another one with sound. Y'all see how bad I'm shaking right now? This is the first time I'm playing with this. So we just went live at F8. I pulled their live stream in. And so right now what I'm doing, hold on. So every time I hit this ghost feature, I'm just a blob of hair. I just went live at F8, pulled that in here or whatever. But, and that was pretty cool. That was good. They said some really cool things. I'm going to recap with, somebody here shortly that's actually there. We're going to do a recap and stuff. And, oh man, this is the first time I'm trying this new feature right here. So this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. Oh, what? Dude, my stomach is like freaking, like, I'm so excited right now. Oh, I'm gonna cry! I gotta go. Oh, I'm gonna cry, y'all. This is so beautiful. I'll come back and recap in a little while. I gotta go. Bye, guys. Check out the next live stream, and I'll tell you what. Oh my god!